Snow and Lambeau, Coach. Something about that combo that just works, like peanut butter and jelly. And we Snow and Lambeau, Coach. Something about that combo that just works, like peanut butter and jelly. And we've got half a foot of the white stuff and still coming down here in Green Bay. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. 18 Gator.
Mike, watch the run. They're running it.
Get it.
On first down, Rollins. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They run the counter. Rollins. And he is going to lose yardage here. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
He'll look to throw, and that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Push him back. Push him back. Jumper.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
He's checking crap.
Hey, Team 6. Team 6. Now.
Back to the ground, this time with Tomlinson. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Check 15. Check 15. Check 24. Check 24.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Fielded just inside the 20. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
First down, Chiefs. Check.
Pilot, 64, weak.
42's the mark. I got one.
2.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That one's complete to Tomlinson. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
Set, ready? 10 Lobo.
I got it. 942. Record.
48, orbit.
42 the mark.
Get it.
2nd and 11. Flushed out right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
I'm coming after you. Mike 35. And let's pin the mirrors back.
Ready?
They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, that was a show of support to even allow him to attempt to make that kick. And you know if he did, that would tie the NFL record. That's a heck of a shot.
Yeah, it would have been a big deal, but a little bit short. They'll run on first down. Rollins. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Hey, Zoom.
58, boy, 58. 58, it's Mike.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
2nd and 6. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 2nd and 9 now. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
58 to Mike. Hey, 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 hey.
Hard, hard.
Looking to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Tomlinson. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line, I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Hey, Mike's 42. Mike's 42.
Back to throw here. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go.
So forget about any talk of possible safeties. Here's 1st and 10 clear on the other side of the field. He'll drop to throw. Open man, Gronkowski complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Ready, set.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, they give to Tomlinson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Recon, 152 fighter.
Check three.
Hey, echo.
Mike 42.
Hit it.
He'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Gronkowski the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Here we go, D. 42's the mark. 42's the mark.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
Go, jackrabbit, now.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Keep working.
From 10 yards out, and the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Baby, let's go. Let's go.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Looking deep downfield. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Hey, high 7. 5.
They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Watch Leo, Leo.
58, right?
Hey, exit.
Mike, 58, right?
Ready to go. Shoot.
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said,
and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Come on, set. 10-2 start.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Ready, ready.
They'll drop to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's caught inside the 30. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Looking here for Smith downfield. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be
Now back to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? the better a route.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why
And he fires one that's intercepted. Shaquill Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 8. Completes it to Hardman. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
42's the mic, 42's the mic. Set the tone, D.
Look at me. Door. Yes.
Tone up. Check 37.
Hey, Zoo.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Extra minutes.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll keep it on the ground. Rollins gets by him, and now a little daylight. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 43 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Ready. 90 Wolf.
Bring it.
Smooth.
58.
Snap.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Open man there is Malone. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Hey, that QB's traps. Let's go.
On second down, Rollins. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it first and goal. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on second and goal? And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now.
Jim.
80 weapon. Hey, Delta. Five.
On play action, they'll throw.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on third and goal. He'll look to throw. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another.
The kick by Lambeau is good, and they are on the board. It's now 9-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
24-yard gain on the play. First down, Chiefs.
Ready, set.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10.
All day, every day.
Roll out.
Watch it. Check 43. Say.
Rock it.
Check 24. Check. Crunch.
Get it.
And this is Tomlinson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Good job.
A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Well, they had done a really nice job on him through 3 quarters plus, but you just had that feeling eventually he was going to get loose.
And this is why coaches always preach that it's a 4-quarter game, right? It gets trite for us. It gets trite for the fans. But this is exactly what they're talking about. What you did before was terrific, but will it stand up if you start giving up big plays as we saw there?
Mike's 4-2.
Ready.
They'll try and throw for it. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Darnell Savage.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. On third down, Rollins, and he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Going for the deep ball. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 5.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great effort there. 93 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the left side. Rollins. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Tomlinson. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the punt team is out there. It's not 4th down. Maybe the cold weather here freezing their brain a bit. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They'll keep it on the ground. Rollins, he's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. And he missed it. It wouldn't have mattered. They were going to lose either way, but the game ends strangely on a missed PAT. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the Chiefs, The win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.